We've had about as much fun at Nationals Park over the last 2 games as you could possibly have in 18 innings of baseball. Michael A. Taylor came up big last night. Everybody talking about his defensive and offensive heroics last night. What does this afternoon have in store? Well, we have a rookie pitcher on the mound. Who knows what's going to happen? But FP, some games you just have to go back and recap because some amazing things happened last night and they were very exciting.
Yeah, Michael A. Taylor had his breakout game last night. We've been waiting for it for a long time. I mean, he's been struggling at the plate. He's been struggling on defense a little bit too, getting bad jumps. But last night for Michael A. Taylor, it was a breakthrough night. This play is something you don't see often in baseball. A fastball 92. He hit it out to the outfield about 102, and then the throw back from Michael A. Taylor, almost 99 miles an hour. So that's the big leagues in a nutshell. The athletic play by Pedro Severino, the out call at home plate, just an amazing play, and then he parlays that into the game winner on the 8th pitch of the at-bat. A slider that he hit off the wall, the game-winning RBI, and Juan Soto runs out to greet him, and a big sigh of relief for Michael A. Taylor. A somber moment, actually. He stood looking towards center field, and I think if you read his lips, he said, "Thank you, God." So all of a sudden, Michael A. Taylor may be back in the mix. We hope so, because he's a great player.
Yeah, and Michael's a strong young man, very spiritually strong. He had a moment there, as you described. Then his teammates came and got him. So he's having fun with Bryce and Tim Bogar and the guys in the dugout today. And speaking of Bryce Harper, he has warmed things up as well. In this series, he's 4 for 8. He's doubled. He's hit a couple of home runs and driven in 3 runs. And the thing what we really like that Bryce is doing, he's using the entire ballpark, going to left center, going out to left field. So some things are happening at the ballpark. Last game before a long road trip. Then today, PNC, make today the day. And by General Dynamics Mission Systems. Get off the bench and get in the game. Now is your last chance to register for Dynamic Connections 2018. Register today at gddynamicconnections.com. Beautiful day. A lot of folks in the ballpark to enjoy a 4:05 first pitch here. And as we get to the weather, look at the humidity. It is down. It's 81 degrees, and we've got a little wind coming through the ballpark today. Flags are blowing from up near the Capitol straight down into the ballpark here. Padres, second from the bottom in the league in hitting, 12th in runs and 14th in homers. Eric Hosmer has been very quiet against the Nats. They pitched him extremely well in this series, 1 for 7 overall, 1 for 18, couple of walks, and they have been missing his bat as well. and that's the key guy in their lineup. So here's 25-year-old Eric Fetty, and FP, it'll be his 4th big league start, first time around this year.
Yeah, that's his arsenal from last season. Threw the fastball 61% of the time. He went 6 2/3 against the Phillies AAA team his last start on the 13th. One unearned run, on 4 hits. 6 strikeouts and a couple of walks. And here we go, play ball.
Yeah, still looking for that first big league win. 0-1 with a 9.39 ERA and trying to bunt his way aboard as Travis Jankowski, as the first pitch was right on time at 4:05.
So today's game might be a little bit bigger than you would think.
I like the way you've been channeling things today.
On May 11th, the Nats won 3-1. The Caps won 4-2. On the 13th, the Nats won 6-4. The Caps also won 6-2. The Nats had the rain out on the 15th. The Lightning won 4-2. The Nats had a day off on the 17th. The Lightning won. The Dodgers beat the Nats on the 19th 4-1. The Lightning won.
I see a trend.
And then the Nats beat the Padres 10-2, and the Caps beat the Lightning 3-0. So every time the Nats have won, the Caps have won. So this is a huge game with Game 7 tonight.
Setting the stage for the entire sports world. And it's up and in, 3-1 now. Eric Fetty is a big leaguer, 15 innings, 15 strikeouts, 8 walks. And this one up the middle. There's a guy shaded that way, Trey Turner, and he gets Jankowski. So Eric Fetty can take a deep breath and face Eric Hosmer now. And remember that stretch last year? He came in, he had to pitch at Chicago. He pitched against the Rockies. He pitched against the Mets. It was like, hey, big boy, welcome to the big leagues, and you've got 3 really tough opponents.
Yeah,
here.
he did a nice job. Really impressed us this spring.
Mike Rizzo likes the way he's been using his fastball this year. His 4-seam velocity is up, approaching mid-90s.
There you go, 95 on cue.
And he's got the 2-seamer to go with it. And despite being a little slow in this series, Eric Hosmer has it safely. 9 of his last 11 games and make it 10 out of 12. Goes the other way, and the Padres have a base runner with 1 out.
That swing right there is the Eric Hosmer I remember. Lots of low line drives to left. Good swing, first knock of the day.
Skip Schumacher, his first base coach over there.
Yeah, it looks like he's been pulling the ball, or the Nats have been making it hard on him, but that's the patented Eric Hosmer base hit.
Jose Perella is the second baseman. He's had a good series, 3 for 7 with a walk. And there's Fetty's breaking ball outside. So Eric, a Vegas guy, 6'4", 195. Originally drafted, ironically, by the Padres out of Las Vegas High School. Didn't sign, went to UNLV. Nats took him in the first round. 18th overall player taken 4 years ago.
That was nasty. 95 with some run.
One ball, one strike.
Yeah, Perella's got the total Nelson Cruz stance. He's got his hips open, but his shoulders closed, the back kind of flat. And he has to be emulating. And check it out. For those of you that know Nelson Cruz for the Mariners, slightly open. Kind of turn that back hip towards you, keep the front side closed.
Pop up, right field, and Bryce drifting toward the line, 2 down. That'll bring in Frenchie Cordero.
Here's the defense brought to you by StatCast today. Michael A. Taylor with one of the better plays you'll ever see last night. We showed it to you when we came on the air, and the rest of the guys just strolling around the campsite.
You just hope that last night's game was kind of a pressure release thing for Michael. He had a couple of hits the night before, but for him to contribute like that, and we'll see where he takes it from here, but he needed that, and everybody on the ball club so happy for him. Cordero 1 for 4, and that one hit went a long way. It was a homer in the 4th inning last night. And if you haven't heard, the Nats had to make a corresponding move to get Fetty on the roster, and Carlos Torres was designated for assignment. We wish him well. Nats have one fewer right-handed arm out in that bullpen today. 7-man pen, and that one's outside.
Spencer Keyboom probably catching Eric Fetty more than anybody has, so he'll have a good idea back there today of what to call, when to call it, and what's coming.
2-1. Right now you're seeing several foul balls off the very end of San Diego bats. So inside the numbers, last 2 years of spring training, Eric's made 5 starts. All the numbers good. Make today the day, PNC Bank. Runner going, pitch up, throw, got him. Keyboom puts one right on the bag to get Eric Hosmer, called out by Stu Shearwater. And that appears to be the end of the top of the first. Padres are taking a look.
Trey Turner kind of did a double take running off, which tells me he didn't know if he was safe or out. That's kind of what I'm thinking, and I'm judging this by.
And play-by-play announcers across baseball now have perfected the phrase "for now."
Yeah.
He's out. And we'll see if it keeps on going, because it affects how we call plays, how we get to breaks, and how we get ready for the rest of the game. Looks like the verdict is challenge. San Diego will challenge here.
Yeah, I watched Trey hesitate, and that told me that he wasn't sure if he got him or not. Show us some looks. Let's pretend we're all in Chelsea, New York, and we're umpires. Couldn't tell there. That's not enough to overturn it. Original
Agreed.
call was out. I mean, if you had to guess, which you can't do, I'd say he's safe. But is there enough to overturn it? I don't think so.
Kind of a nervous murmur through the crowd.
A murmur, I like it.
Yeah. Franchi Cordero just came back out of the dugout with his bat, hoping that his AB continues here.
But look at the field right now. What if you're just getting to your seat and you see half a team on the field, half a team off the field, and umpires with headphones on? Hey, let's go to the game, honey. Yeah, what's going on? I don't know. So everyone just kind of standing around.
Yeah, is it enough to overturn? We'll see.
Yeah, I think he's safe, but I don't think there's enough definitive video evidence to prove otherwise.
So you got the pitcher and catcher playing catch.
He's pitching, but they might be hitting. Hosmer's standing around the shortstop area, and if you just got to the ballpark, this is what you're seeing.
You know, and I thought one of the cool things about Michael A. Taylor's play last night, which the Padres obviously, you know, the play that got challenged, the Nationals challenged the save call and got that overturned. It got decided pretty quickly.
Yeah.
That was replay at its best. This one, first inning, not that the first inning is not as important as the later innings, but to me there has to be a time limit in which they have to make the decision. And if you can't tell by then, the original call stands and you move on. But that is not happening here.
They're booing. I don't blame them.
Runner is still out. And that's it. So Fetty can shut down his pitches that he was throwing to Keyboom. And what a great throw by Spencer. The Nats are 7th in the league in batting average, 4th in runs, 1st in homers with 61. We've seen a bunch the last couple of days, and there's the former Padre draft pick, part of the Steven Souza Jr., Will Myers 3-team trade with players moving all over the place. And look at that, Juan Soto is in the number 2 spot today, 3 for 5 in the series. 31-year-old Tyson Ross, Joe's older brother, 2-2 career against the Nats, 4 starts, 7 games overall.
And the third win of the season after tossing 6 innings, a 2-run ball at Pittsburgh on the 18th, struck out 2 Pirates, walked 4 through 100 pitches in that game. He's thrown 100 or more pitches in 4 consecutive outings.
Trey's had a good series, 3 hits, 2 RBIs. And Ross had him really reaching there. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Got him again.
I'll take the defense for the Padres today behind Tyson Ross, Cordero, Margot, Jankowski, the outfield, Galvis, Villanueva, left side, Perella, Hosmer, right side, and Rafi Lopez doing the catching. So good chance you're getting a slider from Tyson Ross today. He throws it 45% of the time.
It's a kind of a family trait, isn't it?
It is.
So Tyson Ross, 31 years of age, had a birthday about a month ago. Joe, 2 days ago, turned 25. Can't wait for his return. And there's a check swing by Soto, 1-1.
I'll tell you what, we've seen a lot of impressive things from Juan Soto. In my mind, the most impressive thing I've seen is his 4-pitch walk in the 9th yesterday. I don't know too many 19-year-olds that would have taken the pitches he took. Because we were thinking it. I talked to a lot of players and coaches today. They were thinking it, walk-off home run coming, but he was disciplined enough to make him throw strikes, which showed me a ton about his maturity.
Yeah. Hits this ball high and deep to left. The wind, as I mentioned, is coming in from over the left field seats. Might have slowed that one down a bit. And 2 outs. When you're talking cars, you're talking Coons. So last 3 teenagers with 3 walks in a single game. Bryce, the most recent to do it, back in 12. And then you go back to Robin Yount in 75 against the Yankees. I think I also heard, going way back, there was a name of Jimmy Fox, one of the great all-time Red Sox, on that list as well. Way, way back. But contemporary players, Yount, Harper, and Soto. So here's Bryce, and he's had a good series, 4 for 8. That one brings him up limping a bit.
I think he hit it above his shin guard. I think. Back knee? Yeah, outside of the back knee. That's darn near impossible. Inside of the back knee I've seen before, but he has such a quick turn with the hips, it got him on the outside.
Harper 3 for 8 career against Tyson Ross, and that's a strike. 0-2. 3 of 8 with a solo homer, 3 walks. Big shift on. Freddie Galvis, 2-strike count, way up toward the middle. Did Bryce go? Looked like Rafi Lopez was ready to run to the dugout.
Trying to sell the call.
One and 2. Swing and a miss. Couple of Ks for Tyson Ross. Turner and Harper with a Soto fly ball in between. Would it be him?
Might be. It was yesterday, I believe.
In case you haven't heard. Well, everybody's got to contribute over the long season. Last night was Michael A's night. Back to the mound, Eric Fetty. Pretty good first inning. 16 pitches, 8 strikes. Got the ball to Keyboom so he could throw out. Hosmer on the caught stealing. In the box at the time, Franchi Cordero. And a swing and a miss. Top of the second underway.
I used to like to get sneak peeks as a hitter when a base runner was thrown out, and then you get to reset your at bat. But then you're always wondering, is he going to throw me the same things he threw me the first time in the same order, or is he going to mix it up now? Oh, nice play, Gio, with his hat over the rail. He got a little ovation over the dugout. That was sweet.
Got to give up the souvenir, Gio. Come on. Ah, youngster's going to receive it over there at the end of the dugout.
Nice.
Ish. Cool. 1-2 to Cordero. Foul tip and the strikeout. Eric Fetty had 15 Ks and 15 and a third last year. That's his first one today.
Trying to figure out what the pitch this was. Scoreboard said changeup. I don't think it was. I think it was a slider. 88 miles an hour. Yeah, that's a slider right under the hands. Looked like he foul tipped it right into Spencer's glove.
Christian Villanueva is next.
The scoreboard's got a day game after night game going too, so probably didn't sleep a whole lot last night. Was up while the ballpark was getting cleaned.
0-1. Villanueva at 243. 1 walk, the extent of his offense in this series. He's going to pop one to the right side. Matt Adams. They were in a shift, so Matt was the Lone Ranger over there. Villanueva's now 0 for 14 against the Nats this year.
Summer Sizzler. Put some sizzle in your summer with the Nats Summer Sizzler 3-pack. Get 3 Summer Nats games and a free Nats branded grill starting at just $39 per pack. Visit nationals.com for all the details. Summer Sizzler. Get your Summer Sizzler 3-pack. Yes.
I can feel the sizzle right now.
I want that grill. The baseball grill with the curly W on it. I already have my spatula with the curly W in the middle of it. I once
yeah, what's good? What good's a spatula without a grill?
Mark Lerner once gave me a toaster that, when it was toasted, it had a curly W in the middle of the toast. It did. And who says I'm a homer? You're kidding me.
I got it raised that year, and you got a toaster, huh?
Yeah.
2-0.
He told me to take a bath with it.
Talk about a summer sizzler. 2-1 here in the second inning. Having fun at the old ball yard on a beautiful Wednesday afternoon. Strike 2 call. And Fetty had him waving at it, and a real good top of the second for Eric Fetty. A couple of strikeouts and a weak pop-up. So he's dealing early. That ball really moving away from the lefty. every day. Sandy Spring Bank from here for 150 years. And note, we got a Monday afternoon game at Camden Yards for Memorial Day, 1 o'clock. So a couple of day baseball, consecutive days in Miami and Baltimore. Checking on the O's next week between the Marlins and the Braves.
Got the red jersey, the white jersey, and the blue jersey. Nailed it. I love it.
Rendon, Adams, and Taylor, 4, 5, 6. First inning, Tyson Ross, 12 pitches, 8 strikes. He had a first inning just like Fetty's second inning. 2 Ks around a fly ball. Anthony in the series, 2 for 8 with a walk, and he's been on base all but 1 game since his return 2 weeks ago. Way outside. Braves at Philadelphia again tonight. For Atlanta, Luis Gohara and Jake Arrieta pitching for the Phillies, who are a game and a half behind the Braves and a game and a half ahead of the Nats, who leapfrogged the Mets last night with that dramatic win. So Davies Ball Club back to 5 over 500, 3 back, 1 under at home.
I love it. Stack them up. Keep it close all season.
2-2.
Well, at least until September.
I was going to say, I'll take a little separation the last 2 weeks of the season. But I think there's a lot to that. We've talked about it numerous times. Having to battle all the way to win your division rather than maybe being on cruise control the last month or so. 2-2.
I don't know. I just think the Nats get out of the first round when they play their way into the playoffs. I mean, they have played their way in, but there's been that lull, right, where you just kind of downshift. You make sure guys are healthy. You get the home field advantage. Then you have the 4 days off, and it's tough to gear up again, even though you're the only game on TV. If you play your way in 1 year and it's a little uncomfortable for us fans, well, hey, maybe that's the year you advance.
A lot have done it. Rendon, 1 hopper. Perella. 4 in a row for Tyson Ross to start the game. And let's check out Matt Adams. In San Diego recently, he did some big time damage against this pitcher.
Yeah, May 7th against Tyson Ross, he hit a far tater. I think that hit the killer whale at SeaWorld. It was far.
He hit 1 in the 6th, they hit 1 in the 7th, and they drove in 5 runs. That was the first game of that series behind Steven Strasburg, when the Nats won 8-5. Steven only gave up 3 runs. Bullpen gave up a couple late. That set a good tone for that entire week, when the Nats won 2 out of 3 at San Diego and then swept the D-backs 4 in a row. And by the way, they got bombed again today. Milwaukee beat Arizona 9-2 in Wisconsin, and the D-backs have lost 7 in a row.
Well, they lost A.J. Pollock, and that's going to be a tough one to get over.
Adams a check swing on 2-0. 15 of his 27 hits, extra bases, and 10 of those home runs.
Can you petition the league if you're the Diamondbacks and say, hey, that humidor thing that you guys got going, it's not working so well for us? Can we switch back to regular baseballs like everyone else uses?
Well, I would imagine somebody's been on the phone. You know, and you and I were chatting about this last night. So in Philadelphia or other bandboxes, do you make the balls deader? Do you liven the baseball in San Francisco? I mean, they're trying to even the playing field, but kind of a different way to do it. And shift or not, Matt Adams with a base hit to right.
Yeah, Arizona dead last in the National League with a .215 average. First knock of the day. Matt Adams staying on what looked like a changeup. Beats the shift, and there goes a no-hitter. Kind of just spinning in there. I got to figure out what that pitch was.
Matt Adams is now 6 for 10 career against Tyson Ross. So right-handed pitcher, good numbers. You knew he'd be in there today. Here's Michael A. 3 for 8 in the series, couple of RBIs. Maybe you can add an RBI because he cost the Padres a run last night. And seeking his first career hit against Ross. Up in the zone, outer half, 1-1. Tough pitch. And that one on the front door for a strike. Reaches out and hits the ball well. Out to center. Run down by Margot. Michael didn't take a full swing, and he got that one right on the sweet spot. 2 outs.
It's good at bat. Friday, June 8th is Ryan Zimmerman bobblehead night presented by Delta Airlines. The first 25,000 fans pick up the third of 5 Nats bobbleheads this year. The Nats face the Gigantes from San Francisco. 7:05 start. Visit nationals.com today.
Spencer Keyboom. First big league hit. In the first game of the Dodger doubleheader on Saturday. Clean single to left on the first pitch he saw in the second, actually third inning. To that point, it was the second Nationals hit after Defoe had just singled.
Did you give him a copy of your scorecard yet?
I did.
Nice.
And Juan Soto got a copy today.
Nice.
And I told Spencer, hopefully we'll have one for your kid brother sometime soon.
Good call. Is there any other key booms we should know about? Floating around the premises.
Swing and a miss on a pitch diving away, and Tyson Ross has that slider going pretty well today.
Yeah, that one was nasty.
And a 1-2 with 2 outs. Swing and a miss. That'll do it for the second inning. The Nats get their first hit, a Matt Adams single. Folks still coming in after the 4:05 start. No score through 2.
But he said this spring that his forearm was really bugging him towards the end of last year. It led to that decreased velocity and eventually a DL stint, which ended his season. But he came into spring training feeling healthy, and as we've seen, his velocity is back up in the 94-95 range. He also spent spring training really picking the brain of Max Scherzer, Steven Strasburg, and some of the Nationals' other starters, and trying to improve his secondary pitches. He told me back in spring he feels his changeup is better than it used to be, his slider is tighter than it used to be, and guys, he's got that heater back where he wants it too, mid-90s on that velocity.
Yeah, and Mike Rizzo talking about that before the game, Dan. One of the primary reasons that Nats felt Fetty was ready to get back up here and do his thing. Getting stronger all the time, and the fastball showing it. Rafi Lopez in the series 1 for 3. So all these Padres getting their first look in person at Eric.
Yeah, velocity's great, and it'll make you as a hitter maybe cheat to get to a fastball or two, but the movement on his pitches and his secondary pitches, I think, are more important. Right there, you look at that changeup at 87, just kind of late movement. Curveball's been pretty good today, so I think maybe last time we saw Eric, his secondary pitch is not as polished as they are now, and that's the difference between a big leaguer and a minor leaguer.
Swing and a miss. Got that slider, high 80s going. He has struck out now, swinging 3 of the last 4 batters.
Yeah, that might just be a cutter. He's got a slider and a cutter. He throws the cutter more than the slider, and that one just underneath Rafi's hands. Good stuff so far from the young right-hander.
Here's Manuel Margot, the center fielder.
Two favorite things about Eric is he competes and he works fast.
Yeah, 2 traits that complement each other, don't they?
Yep. It's like, I'm out here, let's get this done either way. However it goes, it's going to go fast. Nasty curveball for strike 2.
Chopper, and on the charge, Turner in between hop, hit the bottom of his glove and fell to the dirt. He had no choice but to be aggressive there. Margot can run.
Yeah, I don't think he had him if he fielded it. Margot was halfway down the line by the time he got to the baseball. No chance. It was do or die. If you see where Margot is in relationship to that, by the time he picks it up, jumps and throws it like he usually does, he's safe. Got to give him a hit.
E6 for now.
It's a wrong call.
As the announcer said, for now again.
It's a hit.
Tyson Ross, 2 for 16. He squared early prior to the throw over. I bet somebody from San Diego will be lobbying for a hit in the press box on that. And they should. Ross will pop up the bunt and got all of that one over the screen. Tyson, a 194 career hitter with a homer, 10 RBIs. No squaring around that time. At least he did early and then took a hack. There's Glenn Hoffman at third.
Let's see, he's putting on the
Put the ball in play sign.
hit into a double play sign, I think is what he put it.
We'll see.
He's way up in the box. I think he's bunting still.
Yeah, his front foot right up by the chalk line there, or what's left of it. And then he'll swing and stay alive. I think it was a Saturday when Joe made his big league debut here in the ballpark. The Padres were in Cincinnati, and I think it was Buddy Black at that time gave Tyson permission. He flew over here and was in the seats behind home plate for little brother's debut. That was a very cool family thing. Outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. And the breaking ball away. Counts even. Fastball right in there. Strikeout number 4. So unless a call gets changed the first time around the order, the Padres go 1 for 9. 4 strikeouts. Eric Fetty.
Washington area Toyota dealers help children and their families by making a $44 donation to the Children's Inn at NIH for every strikeout by a Nats pitcher this year.
Travis Jankowski.
Oh, he was going.
And that's Margot, who's 5 out of 7 over there. There's their leadoff guy again. Bounced out to Turner first time.
Yeah, you had to throw over again just to make sure. So many things can go on when you tip a steal as a runner. Your team can wipe off the steal. They can put the red light on. The opposing team can throw over again to see if you're still going with a lean. I always thought, Carp, if you had the green light and you were out there in your lead and you kind of jelly-legged towards second on the throw over, you just showed everybody you're going. So then I would wipe it off myself. I wouldn't go on the next pitch because I figured they're either going to slide step, pitch out, or throw over again. You know when you tip off the steal as a runner.
Delayed steal. And he might have caught a few Nats by surprise. Kibu made a good throw, but it was too late. Margot not going right away. And that's his 6th of the year.
So the delayed steal is a shuffle, shuffle, go.
Oh, that turned out close.
Yeah. Shuffle, shuffle, go. Try to catch the middle infielders napping or the catcher napping. Trey was there.
Nats will not challenge. And the Padres have a runner in scoring position, 2 outs. They're a pretty good running team. That's their 34th steal. As a ball club, only 2 fewer than the Nats. Braves have the most in the league, 37. And the 0-2 fastball stood the hitter straight up. No score, top of the 3rd. Busting him inside, and Eric Fetty was walking to the dugout seemingly before that pitch got home. Pretty confident in that one, and he gets 3 Ks in the 3rd.
at the ballpark. If you're around, come to the yard. It's a pretty good game. And if you're around this month, Nats Pass would cost you just $65. You can see all the baseball you want. The Rays, the Giants, the Yankees, the Orioles, the Phillies. They'll all be here, plus your favorite ball club. Nats Pass available exclusively through MLB Ballpark app, so download it today and start enjoying unlimited Nats baseball. It's a good deal.
Bottom of the third, here's Eric Fetty. 0 for 4 is a big league hitter. Does have a sacrifice bunt.
What we got here? What are we featuring?
Gary Cedarstrom walking over toward the dugout, looking at something, kind of gazing out toward right center field or center, pointing something out to Dave Martinez.
There's a guy in a white shirt standing along the rail out there. Or a girl, I should say. Could be right in the line of fire. I don't know if that's it. There could be some shiny metal reflecting into the hitter's eyes, too. I'm looking at those seats above the garage door. They're kind of shining to us up here. I don't know what it looks like down there. To the right a little bit.
And then meanwhile, Ross goes 3-0 on Fetty.
Right here. I'm not sure.
Walked him.
Yeah, if you can't see, don't swing. That's what I always say.
Nats have their second base runner. Fetty, of course, batting 8th. So now it's Wilmer Defoe here in the third.
There's a box over there with some reflection on it. I'm understanding.
Okay.
It's right in line. Check it out.
And that ball cutting to the inside edge on Defoe. 0 for 3 career against Ross. Off speed, well outside.
Well, if somebody's thinking right out there, they slide that bad boy right back when the Padres are hitting. Right in that doorway out there, whatever was reflected. Then slide it back and, you know, keep doing that all game. Why not? That's dirty. He gets so on top of his slider. It says fastball on the scoreboard, but that was his slider. It's got so much downward tilt to it. Watch this. He just gets it out front. He has a short stride, and his slider doesn't sweep. It just goes more straight down.
One and two, and Defoe will just kind of stroke it out to center. It's going to hang up, though, for Margot, who got a very good jump on it. That'll be the first out here in the third. First time around, the Nats go 1 for 8 with a walk.
Excuse me, Carr. Pretty nice piece of hitting by Wilmer to dig that slider out and hit it that hard. Been some good at-bats. Michael A. Taylor, Juan Soto, now Wilmer, nothing to show.
Top of the order, Turner. One.
This has been the longest, shortest homestand ever.
Or the shortest long homestand ever. It's been crazy.
All the rainouts, the barely won game against the Yankees, then a doubleheader against the Dodgers in a single game, and now 3 against the Padres. And we've been here for how many days?
Supposed to be a week-and-a-half homestand. We've only actually played baseball on 5 days.
Right.
And one of them didn't count, or will later. Turner to right. And that one carries, but Jankowski boxes it over towards center field. He got a glove on it. So the Nats will end up with runners at first and second, 1 out.
There's that second at-bat thing again for Trey. First at-bat struck out. Got to give him a hit right there. Dive and play. Extraordinary effort. Good effort by Jankowski. I thought he had it, but when he dove, it just clanked off his glove. Good read by Fetty to get the second. Right in the heel? Ooh. Right off the thumb, it looked like. Got to score that a hit. I think they did. They did.
Have 2 hits on the board. Can Trey take his first at bat in the cage like 20 minutes before the game starts and just pretend it's his second AB coming out?
If you missed it last night, he's got the highest differential in average in baseball between his first at bat and his second at bat. First at bat in the low 2s, second at bats in the high 3s.
Yeah, he's hitting way over 370 now in his second at bats of the year.
It's like a 174-point difference.
And a block by Rafi Lopez there with Soto in there. Well, we all know what happened the last time this guy was up rather early in a ball game with 2 men aboard. He's in the number 2 spot today. Maybe Martinez went from not sure if he was going to start his second game to not only doing that, but putting him in the number 2 spot in his 3rd start. Shadows creeping. Great time to take the lead here. Hitting conditions will be changing in this ballpark now over the next hour or so.
Two-strike adjustment, spread out, choke up. For those of you that haven't seen Juan yet.
Really gets on his legs, and that's not a routine take right there. 2 and 2.
It's a great take. So he was spread out. Saw it early.
Little cloud cover for a moment. So he may see the next pitch really well. 2-2.
Doesn't take anything out of his swing, just spreads out and chokes up. He was talking to his hitting coach, Kevin Long, between at bats, and Kevin's asking, was it a changeup? Tyson Ross only thrown 2 all year, so they were trying to figure out what pitch he hit. And he said it was just spinning in there. And I think it was either a cutter or a slider that just kind of spun. Always trying to learn, and he learns quick, is what I'm told from his coaches. Tell him once, he's got it.
And a swing and a miss. 2 down. So 8 plate appearances, 2 strikeouts. Big time damage the other times, and now it's up to Bryce with 2 on 2 out. Strikeout number 4 for Tyson Ross. Ross struck out Harper swinging, ending the first.
On a cutter, and everything was in first at bat. See what they do here. Creeping in there again.
Scoreless game. 2 on 2 out. And now the count's even.
Still talking, still learning, still doing homework.
Well, Bryce, one of the top RBI guys in the league, feasting on situations like this. That's a fastball for a strikeout or half. Harper 34 RBIs, 4th in the league.
They're pounding them in, then they go away right here. First sequence, everything was inside. I see what they're doing. They're making them aware of the inner half and getting the strikes in the outer half and trying to put them away in.
And Bryce committed, couldn't stop, and that's it. So Ross has struck him out twice. Each pitcher with 5 strikeouts in 3 scoreless innings.
Nastiness so far today. 5 strikeouts on the day, 47 pitches, 30 of the 47 for strikes. The off speed's been crisp, but the fastball's been 94, 95, so he has looked on point so far in this one, been very impressive. The 100% fiber optic network means more speed. For more devices at once, visit getfios.com.
And you know, the San Diego announcers right now are saying, okay, second time around against this kid that the Pods have not seen before. So a challenge for Eric and for them, who's going to make some adjustments and make some good things happen. It'll be Hosmer, Perella, and Cordero, 2, 3, 4. Hosmer just lining one cleanly to left for a single first time up. So in the series, 2 for 8 with a walk. Fetty throws one outside. Anthony Rendon alone on the left side of the infield.
And people asking on Twitter why Eric Fetty's starting, thinking somebody's injured. Doubleheader against the Dodgers, same day.
Yeah.
You have to use 2 of your starters, so no days off. He got called up and he gets the spot start here today, just in case you're wondering.
Yeah. Didn't want to throw somebody out there with 3 days of rest. Tanner Roark's the guy who really got pushed back a lot last week. They were going to skip him to begin with in the Yankee series, and then of course it was Saturday before Tanner got out there. So the 1-2 pitch upstairs and straight back it went. And if you did miss it when we mentioned it first inning, the Nats did have to make a roster move, and Carlos Torres was designated for assignment. So the right side of the bullpen's now Kelly, Suero, Gott, and Kinsler. 1-2. Counts even. Swing and a miss. 89 by Hosmer. Strikeout number 6, so that's 6 strikeouts out of 10 outs total. Mercedes-Benz pitch cast.
I'm having trouble figuring out Fetty's pitches today, but they're nasty, whatever this is. Was that a changeup at 89?
Wow.
Ran it back?
That's a Strasburg-like changeup.
His fastball's been 94, 95. That one came back a little bit. His changeup last year averaged 87, so I'm going with changeup. That was dirty.
And then the big curveball, which Hosmer also saw. And he starts out Jose Perella with that.
Started it off the plate, ran it back at 96. That was a backdoor sinker at 96. Huh. I don't know that we saw 96s from Eric last season.
I don't think so. This is kind of next level stuff.
Saw great makeup, great poise, great stuff, but I don't remember 96.
And that one a couple of feet outside the bag.
A little dinged up the last time we saw him at the end of last year. Velocity was down, but he's definitely healthy right now.
Yeah, ended the season hurt, right forearm flexor strain, put on the 60-day DL September 4th. And he was working quickly enough that Perella wanted to stop him and requested time and got it. 3-2 with one out. And this one hammered out to center. Taylor back for it. In his sights. Short of the track, 2 down. San Diego's best hit ball so far. And Franchi Cordero will step in with 2 outs. At the plate when Hosmer was caught stealing, ending the first, and then struck out leading off the second. Looked like he stops. Eric Cooper says he did.
Little reset right there. Look, he might be going too fast. Took a deep breath, got back on the mound.
Second 3-ball count of the inning. Hot shot. Defoe timed it perfectly, reached up and grabbed it. And Eric Fetty's retired 10 of the last 11 Padres. The 4th inning of Nationals baseball is brought to you by the all-wheel drive RAV4. Toyota, what drives you? Visit buyatoyota.com for great deals. Taylor. Who's going to strike first this series? And we give you some stats on Rendon, Adams, and Taylor. Experience the power and toughness of Ram at your local dealer, or log on to ramtrucks.com to get to work. Guts, glory, Ram. Anthony out on a grounder to second base first time. Adams has a hit. Taylor lined out hard his first time. 55 pitches, 36 strikes. Tyson Ross threw 3. And Rendon out to left center. After it, center fielder, and right before that little triangle back there, Margot grabs it. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com. See how much you could save. I thought Teddy was going to get it done in the stretch here. Abe's got the finishing kick to win his 10th race of the year. George and Tall Tom each have 7, and Teddy only 2.
I want to be the gecko for one of those races. I want to be a lizard and just run around like a crazy man down there. Think they'll let me?
I don't know. Are you planning on tackling a president possibly?
Yeah. Tell you what, the ball's going nowhere today. Anthony touched that ball. Wind's blowing right down half street. Anything towards center field of the garage that's high is getting blown straight down. If it's a still humid day, that ball's out of here. You saw it driving the ballpark today. It's windy. Even though this is in a bowl and it's sunken down below street level, the high fly balls are getting knocked down. A couple have been hit well to left.
Yeah, only one thing wrong with that last shot. And those were the NL East standings on those flags. Hopefully changing very, very soon. Matt Adams ripped one right through the shift first time. He's going to go center field this time. 1 on 1 out. Adams 2 for 2. And Dan, here comes last night's hero, and that was kind of a fun visit you had with Michael A.
It was last night, Bob, but I talked to hitting coach Kevin Long even before yesterday's ball game about what Michael needs to do to get on track. He said he's a big thinker, which can be a negative at times when he's struggling. So K. Long's been trying to get Taylor to just enjoy the game and compete. Instead of cloud his head with thoughts of mechanics or what the pitcher is trying to do to him, they've been trying to just slow things down for him and allow his athleticism to take over. He's such a good athlete. He has such good tools. Allow that to just take over instead of complicating things too much.
Hit the ball hard first time, lined out to center. So in the series, 3 for 9, couple of runs batted in.
I've been there, man. I know what that's like. When you're struggling, your mind's going a billion miles an hour. It goes so fast, sometimes you can't even see the baseball. You just get into a count and you're thinking, I'm swinging because it's a 1-0 count. I'm swinging because it's a 2-0 count. Please throw a strike right here because that's the only thing I can hit. And your brain just takes over and you start grinding so much in the middle of that bat that it gets out of control. So how do you get back? Well, you have some little successes like a walk. What he did last night was a big success. And then all of a sudden you start to take your brain out of it and you become an athlete again and things slow down and you become the hitter that everybody knows you can become. But when you're struggling, man, I'll tell you what, it's a lonely place in that batter's box because you're overthinking it. And it goes real fast. And when you're not thinking, Carp, the game moves slow. You'll take a pitch and go, oh, I could have hit that. And you look up, it's 96. And you're like, wow, that looked like 86. But when you're struggling, you'll take a pitch and you're like, oh, that was 102. And you look up and it says 90. Yeah. It's just the way it goes.
And when you're scuffling, you look up and the count every time is
0-2.
Yeah.
It's such a easy game and a beautiful game when you don't overthink it. But getting to that relaxed state is so hard. That's why teams have mental coaches.
Target away on 1 and 2. And there's Michael A. taking a pitch that he might have swung at several games ago. So things are back even, 2-2.
I mean, when you're going well, you see the ball, he's like, oh, I like the way Rob Manfred spells his name, and then you hit it somewhere.
Other times you can't even see the seams.
I love his signature. It's beautiful cursive.
2-2. Taylor takes it the other way and broke his bat, I think, and he will go get another one. So the Nats have had 1 hit in 3 consecutive innings, mixed in with an Eric Fetty walk last inning, which was actually a leadoff walk. And Tyson Ross got tough on Soto and Harper, striking both out. Tyson career 38 and 59. It's his 122nd big league start. Career ERA coming into this one 3.88. And 5th career start against the Nats. Target a little further in, and he missed way over on the other side of the plate. 3-2.
Big Matt was so surprised they threw over. He had a little stumble and a flop out of the bag right there. He's like, wait, when's the last time someone's thrown over for me?
Yeah, he's like, where am I going?
What is going on here?
Full count, 1 out.
No.
He is running. And Taylor a check swing. You know, frankly, Michael strikes out a lot, and Matt is not fast, so that went totally against everything that you would anticipate what Davey Martinez did right there.
That's why he did it, because it did go against everything. He got a pretty good jump, too. I think he had that bag stolen. Dan loves when I say stolt it. He would have stolt it right there.
You and I have made up a number of words up here over the years.
More me than you. You have a good vocabulary.
3-2 swing and a miss. That time Adams started, then stopped. Strikeout number 6, Tyson Ross, 2 outs, 4th inning. It's up to Spencer Kieboom. Trying to keep this inning alive and turn it over to the pitcher.
I think if you're a right-handed hitter facing Tyson Ross, think right center. He doesn't look like he busts right-handers in with anything. His cutter, his slider, everything's going to be moving down and away to you. So if you're thinking, you know, I'm going to hit one through the second baseman's chest or in the right center field gap, that's the right game plan. Easy to say, hard to execute. Guy's got good stuff.
Kieboom puts a charge into one out to center. Margot turns around and is waiting for it. And as FP mentioned, the Yard playing big on an 81-degree afternoon. No score into the 5th. That's our cricket smile feature. And excuse Eric Fetty if he cracks a smirk or two. He's pitching pretty well. 6 strikeouts, no runs, 1 hit in 4 innings. And now it's Villanueva, Galvis, and Lopez. 5, 6, and 7 in a scoreless ball game.
He's about to have a really good friend show up too, called Mr. Shadow. On top of his stuff.
So ahead of this hitter, 0-2. And he tried to bolt that fastball to the outside edge. Out to center. Sounded like a busted bat, but it's got enough carry to get to Michael A. 1 hit, Hosmer in the first for the Padres.
Watch every out-of-market regular season game live at home, in the office, or on the go with MLB.tv. Your subscription includes MLB At-Bat Premium, allowing you to watch live baseball on your favorite supported devices. Visit MLB.tv for details. I'll tell you what Eric Fetty's doing right now is very impressive. Impressive enough to maybe stay around.
Opening some eyes.
I think everybody knows what he can do, but the 95-96 with command, the secondary pitches whenever he wants them for strikes and balls with lots of movement on them too.
Freddie Galvis charges this one out toward the scoreboard. It's got a 1 hop, picked up by Taylor. So 11 of 12 retired in between hits from Hosmer's first inning single to Galvis' 5th inning double. Nissan will show the pitch.
I mean, nice changeup down the way, and Freddie Galvis just golfs it to right center. So nice piece of hitting by the Padres shortstop. He's been hot lately. Hit the ball hard a bunch of times in this series. Nothing to show. Now he's got a double.
Rafi Lopez struck out swinging first time. Two 2-0. Hasn't been off the stretch much. Really, for only 2 hitters in the first, 2 hitters in the third, and now this man Lopez in the 5th. And that ball driven to right center. Bryce Harper dealing with that sun field out there. A little bit of a stumble there at the end. Right field is not easy this time of the day in this yard. 2 outs.
Got a little something going on, it looks like, going back to his position. There's a little stumble and a redirect here. Watch, he's coming in for the line drive, and then he has to kind of come towards the infield, and there's a little stumble there toward the end.
Here's the number 8 hitter, Manuel Margot, pitcher on deck. Margot hit the ball that on a hop or two. Turner dropped first time, ruled an error. Could have been ruled either way.
I think Bryce's knee is still barking where he fouled that ball off earlier.
Possibility, yeah. Yeah, Bryce in full swing mode and straight down to his knee it went.
Yep.
That's a base hit. Harper's going to charge it. Galvis around third. Bryce's throw home on target but late. And into second goes Margot. So the Nats went after the number 8 hitter, and in front of the pitcher he got a hit. 1-0 San Diego. Galvis can fly and Bryce had no chance.
Yeah, nice piece of hit, and Bryce charged it hard, let it rip. Kept it low enough, but Galvis just kept running at first. He was going to get thrown out at second if they cut it. He didn't care. Or excuse me, Margot. Check that.
Yeah, a couple of guys who can run really well. Here's Tyson Ross, called out looking first time. And the 0-2.
It's number 82 coming.
They've been right around an average of 15 to 16 pitches per inning. 6 strikeouts will mount that a bit. That ball's well hit by Ross. Bryce Harper to his right. Sunfield or not, just made a dazzling play to prevent at least another run here in the 5th. Gets up slowly. This was really good.
Yeah, he'd been running around a lot out there, and that knee can't be feeling good, but he didn't care. In the sun, going toward the gap, lays out, and keeps this a 1-0 game. Great play by Bryce Harper.
Defoe and Turner, bottom 5. Check out the brand new Deals Hub on Nationals.com, your one-stop shop for special offers. Save on your next trip to the ballpark with discounted game tickets, concession items, and more. Visit Nationals.com to start saving today.
Pretty good play to keep it 1-0. Just wonder how he's feeling right now. That can't feel good hitting a ball off the outside of your back knee. He's trying to not let it show, but you know it's hurting.
Eric Fetty led off 2 innings ago. Tyson Ross walked him. So the Padres trying to salvage one. They did win game 3 out there when the Nats had won the first 2 of that weekend series. Pardon me, a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday series. They would then go to Arizona for the weekend. And that time Ross not waiting around, and that strikeout number 7. His season high, 10 at Arizona April 20th and 9 at San Francisco May 1st. Wilmer Difo reaching for a pitch, lined out to center, first time. Villanueva toes to the grass on the left side. Oh, 2. Swing and a miss, and Tyson Ross disposing of 8 and 9 in a hurry. Now it's Trey Turner's chance to get something going with 2 outs.
Now Tyson's got a nasty slider going today. Check this one out, straight down. Like I said, his slider doesn't go side to side. It's a lot like Joe's. When Joe's on, that slider's pretty much up and down, little tilt to it away from a righty into a lefty. It's the right idea by Trey.
Yeah, he hit that ball hard, so hard it didn't have much slice on it. By the time it hit the rail down there, not that far foul. So in the series, Trey Turner's 4 for 11. Came in hitting .311 his last 24 games. So it's Soto on deck. Any way to get on with 2 outs could turn into 2 bags, and that's outside. There's 1. Fly ball to left, swinging strikeout.
There's all kinds of Padres Nats connections today, isn't there?
Yeah.
Joe Ross, Tyson Ross, Trey Turner used to be a Padre. Eric Fetty originally drafted by the Padres.
You and I really like San Diego.
Good place. Craig Stammen used to be a Nat. Now he's a Padre.
Yep. Two balls, 2 strikes. And Turner, good take. Tyson Ross wants him to earn his way aboard here. His pitch count in the mid 80s right now. And Turner left side, backhand stop Villanueva. And Hosmer stayed on the bag to receive that throw. anything that's not right at an infielder, Trey Turner is going to beat it out or make it close. We're going to the 6th, 1-0 San Diego.
When you served, we stand ready to serve all military families.
To the top of the 6th we go here at Nationals Park. Nats trying to get back to 500 at home. They're 12-13 this year. And the San Diego box, the first inning, Eric Hosmer opposite field hit. Freddie Galvis plugged the gap in the 5th, driven in by Manuel Margot. Tyson Ross tried to do the same thing, and Bryce Harper robbed him, so it's a 1-0 game. So here comes Eric Fetty's 84th pitch of the day. Bounced by the mound. Here comes Turner. Jump throw. Out is Jankowski, who runs well. And Trey made that not very close at first.
Got rid of it quick. Into a jump all in one motion. He knew that Jankowski could run, but watch how quick Trey Turner gets rid of this. Got the in-between hop. Ball stayed down, and then jump throw with something on it right on the money. That ball stayed down on him. There's a transfer, the jump all at once.
Here's Hosmer, 1 for 2 with that base hit, and then a strikeout, and almost a carbon copy of the first knock. He's 2 for 3, his first multi-hit game against the Nats in the 6th time these teams play this year. Jim Collins returned to the big leagues 2 nights ago and had a 1-hit scoreless 8th inning. That's Jose Perella, who has flied out to right and to center.
I'm digging the 405 crowd on a Wednesday afternoon. Nice little buzz in the ballpark today.
Some prefer the southeast side with the sun, and some prefer the shade on the third base side. Little tapper, that's fair. Fetty, bare hand, threw it right past the left shoulder of the runner to Adams for the second out. Hosmer to second.
Kind of went Trey Turner jump throw there, didn't he? Maybe to create some sort of lane with the runner right in front of him. Watch. A little bit. Throw it over his head. Perfectly done. Ooh, that was a changeup, wasn't it?
That looked a whole lot different in X-Mo, didn't it?
Yeah, like a hook shot.
Wow. Yeah, that was a pull-up jumper.
This is, do you want Frenchie or do you want Christian Villanueva on deck with 2 outs? Hosmer on second. Who do you feel comfortable with? What do you guys want to do to whoever you're most comfortable with? And Frenchie lined out hard the Wilmer last time, struck out his first time up. Villanueva popped up to first and center. Kind of like the right on right, but it seems like they're going after Frenchie. Maybe try to get him to expand here. See how they do.
Strike call and a pitch in the zone. Then the heat and a foul tip. 0-2.
Well, now's where you can really have some fun. You're way ahead 0-2. You got an open base. Now throw whatever you think is the nastiest pitch you got. Doesn't have to be even close to a strike. Just let it rip. Trying to get him to chase up. Fish ain't biting right now. Saw Frenchie swing at some sliders under his hands so far in this series.
Two balls, 2 strikes.
So got him 0-2, and they're being real careful with the base open. See what they feature here in a 3-2 count.
Yeah, right-hander Villanueva with pop is on deck. And a 3-2. Didn't really challenge him down the middle at all. And that walk will put runners at first and second and 2 outs. That's Eric Fetty's first walk today.
Intentional, semi-intentional, but with the 0-2 count, you thought he might go for the kill, but then Frenchie became a little bit more disciplined, and they had a base to play with.
Christian Villanueva has popped up to Adams and hit a fly ball to Taylor. So after a visit from Derek Lilliquist, the walk, and now a 2-on-2-out situation. It's a big scenario here because the Nats have 2, 3, 4 coming up in the bottom of the inning. Bryce Harper is going to have to tear back for this one, battling the sun, and the ball comes loose from his glove. 2 runs will score into second base. Villanueva, and the Padres lead 3-0. It's been a tough day in right field. As we mentioned, it's a hard time of the day to play right field in this ballpark.
Yeah, the wind's blowing down half street. We talked about it all day, and this ball kept pushing away from Bryce Harper. He had a good line to it, and then the wind just kind of gets it right here and takes it toward the foul pole. So you got sun, wind, fence, warning track, all kinds of stuff going on. And with the fence approaching, Bryce almost made the play. And that'll do it for Eric Fetty, but a wonderful afternoon for the young right-hander. He was extremely impressive here today against the Padres.
Yeah, he gives up 5 hits, and 4 of them came in the last 2 innings. So the Nationals still very much in the game. Tim Collins will take over from the bullpen. Padres now on top by 3. 4 hits today. 0-3-2 for the Nats, and if you need expert printing, the UPS store has you covered. Together, there's nothing we can't solve. So the former Kansas City Royal, Tim Collins, now a Nat, made a nice return to the big leagues 2 nights ago. 16 pitches, 10 strikes in that scoreless inning.
Yeah, fastball average at 93. Curveball to go with it. Just 2 pitches the other night. He'll throw a change too occasionally, but a great story about a guy who worked real hard to get back to the big leagues. We're big fans.
So Bryce Harper was given an error on that play. Freddie Galvis got their rally going last inning, batting left-handed with a drive to left center. This time he goes to the right side of the plate, where he's actually been better this year, hitting .271.
That might be the worst scoring decision I've seen since I've been here.
A lot going on. And as you mentioned, 3 or 4 things working against Bryce on that play.
I'm not making excuses for him. He'll tell you he's made that play before, but Villanueva hit the tar out of that ball all the way to the wall. There's sun, there's warning track, there's fence, there's wind blowing from left to right. If that's a routine play and he should have made that play, then it's an error. I didn't think there was anything routine about that play.
1 ball, 2 strikes. So if that call stands, Eric Fedde will be charged with 1 earned run today. And if that call stands, that's Bryce Harper's first error of the year. Trey Turner behind that one gets rid of it. So the Padres pick up a couple. The Nats have 2, 3, 4 coming up. Soto, Harper, and Rendon.
Achieving more. Check out Juan Soto this season at all minor league levels. 193 plate appearances, just a .363 averages all with only 15 home runs. Check out the walks, 32. And you have to remember, every team he plays against, this is Juan Soto. So he's seeing 1-0 sliders, 0-0 changeups, 3-1 changeups. So those numbers, and he's the guy that every team in the minor league circles, this guy ain't beating us. That's pretty impressive. All right, Dan.
Oh, boy.
Rally cameraman. I'm calling it right now.
Yeah. Well, high 80s on the pitch count to Tyson Ross. It's been over 100 several times. On a night when he struck out 10 batters at Arizona, he threw 127 pitches. Must not have been a whole lot of stress in that game. And 1-1 to the rookie. He's going to drop a nice breaking ball in there. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Getting his first taste of third deck shadows right now.
Yeah. Swing and a miss. So Ross, second highest strikeout total for the year at 9. And let's have a look at the Nats box score. They haven't been able to get anybody home. Hits in 3 consecutive innings. Matt Adams has 2 of those singles in the second and the fourth. Trey Turner a 2-out single 3rd inning. Eric Fetty's walked to lead off that frame, the only other man to reach base.
There's some nights you're sitting up here and you're saying, how are they not hitting this guy? Give Tyson Ross a lot of credit today. He's got nasty stuff. This isn't one of those why aren't they hitting this guy things. He's a veteran guy. He's got his A stuff today and he's dealing.
And Bryce well out ahead of that one. No balls, 2 strikes. First 2.5 weeks, Bryce unstoppable from the damage standpoint. Next 22 games, half the homers, still getting some RBIs. And now over the last week or so, everything coming alive again for Bryce Harper. That wasn't fouled by much.
He got the whole left side. Check that out. I don't think he was trying to do that, but it's hard to hit a slider that's chasing you that way. Like that. Cutter.
Padres really bunching the 3 guys together on the shift. Not much room at all between Galvis, Perella, and Hosmer over there. And Harper will ground it to Eric Hosmer. Tyson Ross was over there way early to receive that throw, and 2 down now. So since Matt Adams' single, 1 out 4th inning, 7 batters in a row retired. Here's Anthony Rendon. Four career hits, a homer against Ross.
Told you about 4 consecutive starts where he's thrown over 100 pitches. 3 more and it's going to be 5.
That's a strike call on the inside edge. 2-1. And this one to center for Manuel Margot. Tyson Ross is on a big time roll right now. He's retired 8 consecutive Nats. To the late innings we go. 3-0 Padres.
Time for some Fios by Verizon X. Mo, going to show you Bryce Harper's day. Slider from Tyson Ross off the outside of his back knee. If you've ever been hit there, it doesn't feel good. And then the effort to keep it a 1-0 game at the time, the diver in the gap. And then the last one with the fence approaching. The sun in his eyes and the wind blowing the ball away doesn't make the play. So Bryce has had a very eventful day. The 100% fiber optic network means more speed for more devices at once. Visit getfios.com.
Top of the 7th. Tim Collins and Rafi Lopez. It took Tim 5 pitches to get Freddie Galvis. Paint from Mercedes. That's what you call splitting the outside edge. There's a good heater.
Working ahead. Just like he did the other night.
High in the air to left. Backing up Soto. Now the wind knocks it down and he has to come forward. All right, 1 out, 7th inning. Here's more from Dan.
Yeah, Bob, just building on what FP was just hinting at, you know, people have touched on Tim Collins and all the story that he is coming back from 2 Tommy John surgeries, being out of the majors for the last 3 years. But what Davey Martinez has commented on a couple times is that he loves how aggressive Tim Collins is coming out of the bullpen. He throws strikes, and he's not afraid of anyone. We've seen that ball-strike ratio in Tim Collins' favor a lot early on.
So, 2 batter appearance. Dave Martinez to the mound. He's going to make the call to the bullpen. So, pitching 2 out of 3 days. Tim does quite well. Trevor Gott next. And may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Washington Nationals.
Ah, the lovely Anacostia.
It's beautiful.
Beautiful this time. You can see right to the bottom. It's so clear.
That's the Masson Regatta boat going downstream. How about Scott Erickson and Mark Rippon in the house today?
Nice.
Trevor Gott for Manuel Margot. 1 out, 7th inning. 16th appearance for Trevor. Righties giving him problems over 300. Gets a lot of ground balls when he's got his stuff moving around, and he does have good stuff. There's no doubt about it. There's a 95 heater in there. Margot, the RBI hit 2 innings ago that put the Padres on top. They do have a good back of the bullpen, San Diego, but this game is far from over. On the road, the Pods are 9-12 on the year. And just 2-6 against the East, and the Nats have a lot to do with that. Washington 4 out of 5 against the Padres of San Diego. Two and 1. Bunted in the air and just not reachable for Kieboom, all the way back near the San Diego on deck circle.
Oh, give me some launch angle and exit velocity on the bunt.
Well, Tyson Ross put one over the screen earlier today.
That ball was hit. So is this one. I'm going to say that was about a 60-degree launch angle. Like 90 miles an hour on the exit velocity. Just guessing.
Swing and a miss. Second out, 7th inning. Well, Tyson Ross, his third at bat. By his standards, he's got some left in the tank. 99 pitches, but he hasn't really had a stressful inning today. He's only been off the stretch for 6 batters all day. We'll make it 7. Defoe after Fetty's walk in the 3rd, so the Nets haven't done a whole lot to cause him to do any redlining in his outing today through those 99 pitches.
6'6", 245. It's a large human. And I just tried to Google him real quick, and Mike Tyson came up. I typed in Tyson, and it was all Mike Tyson's. But today,
Tyson Ross is the one trending today.
It's a big fella.
Slider fouled.
So he gets such the downhill on his slider and his cutter. He's 6'6". He's on top of you when he lets go of it.
Two. Fastball in there. Well, you know, little brother 6'4", 220, but this guy is gigantic. 7th inning over. Good work by the pen.
there with the red curly W hat on. How cute is she? 3-0 as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Washington, D.C. Lexus dealers donate $250 to the Children's National Health System for the first 200 home runs hit by the Nats this year. Lexus, experience amazing.
Getting late. Batter's eye still in the sun out there. Batter's box in the shade. Kind of a mixed bag for the pitcher's mound with the shadows at the top of the third base grandstand, but under the roof. And this has been the most effective Nat today. Matt Adams 2 for 2, and in his career now 7 for 11 against Tyson Ross. He's beaten the shift with a couple of pulled base hits. In fact, he's the last man to be aboard. One and two. Fastball up.
Change the eye level, go right back down with the cutter or the slider, you'd think.
Adams lifting one to right. It's approaching the bullpen. See you later. Adams 3 for 3 today. And on his 11th, the Nats are on the board.
Hold on, wait a minute. Almost like he knew it, right? You threw me that fastball up to try to go slider down and in. A hug from the skipper, and Matt Adams has his 11th. And all of a sudden, the Nats are on the board, and there's some life in the first base dugout. He has been so good this year.
Yeah, that's the one part of the ballpark today where the wind doesn't hurt the ball. Taylor chops one left side. Villanueva. And he sends Hosmer into foul ground to get that throw. 1 out.
So it's time for your 4th drive of the game. We'll show you the Matt Adams tater one more time. So fastball up, then he tries to drop the slider down and in. It's all Matt does is drop the barrel of the baseball. So base hit first time up in the 2nd, base hit second time up in the 4th, and a tater now in the 7th. Matt Adams 3 for 3 with the home run, and having another great day for the Nats. Heard your local Ford dealers for great savings on cars, trucks, and SUVs.
He now has 30 hits this year, 16 for extra bases. And this one out to right center, hanging up for Margot. Last second, Jankowski, who has played some center field. The right fielder grabs it. 2 outs. Andrew Stevenson will hit in the pitcher spot. Here's Sammy Solis. His workload lightened a bit by the presence of Tim Collins this week. Way inside to Stevenson. Andrew had to get out of dodge. And homer given up by Tyson Ross, only his 5th of the year in over 60 innings. And Stevenson with a base hit to right. That's his first pinch hit of the year. 1 for 7. And it'll be Defoe here. And it looks like Ross may be done.
Yeah, I was wondering if the end of the day was coming for Tyson even before this, and now Andrew Stevenson puts an exclamation point on it. Pretty good outing for Tyson Ross. Some of the best stuff I've seen him have in a long time. You got to be happy with that one.
He will go 6 2/3. Craig Stammen is coming in. 110 pitches, 74 strikes. Get the Nats the tying run into the batter's box, and it's still the 7th inning. So Defoe's next. Join the Peanuts down in Woodbridge this Saturday. First 1,250 fans get the Trey Turner Roadrunner bobblehead courtesy of Coles Parkway Ford. Fireworks after the game. You know how to find them on the phone or online. So here's Wilmer Defoe, 0 for 2 career against Craig Stammen, who came in last night, had a clean 1-2-3 7th inning for San Diego.
We have fastball, slider, curveball, occasional change. Fastball averaging 91. A lot of arm side run and sink to it. Slider more straight down than across.
Stammen this year, 1 home run given up in 24 innings, and the league's batting .216 against him. Defoe made an offer, and Eric Cooper says he went around.
Kind of looked like he did live, so usually the replay will show that he did.
Pretty far. (3-1) San Diego. Adams is cut into the lead. Stevenson medium lead at first. 0-2 to Wilmer Defoe. And Craig Stammen bounces one. Rafi Lopez plays it well.
It's one of those things, you know, that Craig Stammen likes to bounce a slider with 2 strikes. If you're on first, you look for that, see it in the dirt and take off. Base hit, it's a 1-run game.
One and two. Defoe, a little half swing, took it the other way, and he's thrown out by Villanueva. So the Nats get a run. Matt Adams having a big day. Single to right, single up the middle, home run to the bullpen. His 11th RBI, number 28. So the Nats are 1 run closer.
Coast. Tampa Bay Rays and the San Francisco Giants visit Nats Park. Oh, the things that you'll say yes to in spring training, boys, that you won't say yes to in June. June 5th and 6th, the Rays. 8th and 10th, the Giants. Go to nationals.com today to get your tickets.
Some kind of battery right there. Well, he was everyday Sammy. In this series, he's been seldom seen Sammy, but that's okay. He needed a couple of days off. And Solis makes his first appearance in this set against the Padres. He'll face the top of the order. First up, Travis Jankowski, who faces him for the first time.
Sammy's 6'5", 250. I'm telling you, I see these guys every day, and sometimes I don't realize how big they are. Fastball 94, curveball 78, changeup 85 for Sammy.
And the 1-1. To the left side, backhand Turner. Jankowski can run. Trey made a great play, but the hitter's just too fast. Travis Jankowski, his first base hit today. Couldn't play it any better.
Well, great play by Trey, but Travis just too fast, and that might give you an idea why he's hitting so high when he's tied for second in all of baseball with the lowest average launch angle at -1.1.
Well, today 3 balls on the ground and a strikeout. Does the strikeout move it into negative territory? I don't know.
No, there's no launch angle on a strikeout, but I mean 348, 348.
That's right.
His average coming into today.
So here's Hosmer. He's gone the other way twice. He hasn't faced Sammy before. And the Padres now looking at this as a chance to put this game away. Up by 2, 2 innings to go. Time given. Front door on the curve, and it stayed inside.
Sammy picked up his foot. Jankowski ran back to the bag. Sammy threw the curve, and Eric Hosmer jumped out of the batter's box. Everybody was going the wrong way on that pitch.
Nats got Jankowski last night in a fabulous Severino throw, 8th inning. 7 for 8 stealing. And he was kind of moving back to the bag again. 1-1.
Sammy doesn't have an outstanding move. I would say it's an average left-handed move.
Target away. Curveball. Hit foul. Good pick by Adams.
They're going to use that baseball, hit the dirt.
I was just thinking the same thing, and
Yeah.
now they throw it out. I mean, you see a breaking ball tick the dirt in front of the catcher, and they throw it out. Adams threw it to Sammy, and then they made him throw that one out.
Did they make him, or did he throw it out?
I don't know. If I'm a pitcher, I want that ball to be thrown the next time and might have a little scuff on it and do something.
Well, do pitchers nowadays know what to do with the scuff, since every time a ball hits the dirt, it's thrown out?
That's a great question. Don Sutton used to tell us that he would tell his catchers, don't you dare throw the ball out if I bounce one into your mitt.
Yeah.
If the umpire doesn't make you throw it out, you get it back to me.
And then he'd tell him, you put a chainsaw in your back pocket, and when you catch it.
They got him picked off. He keeps running. 1, 3, 6. Going on first move there.
He did. He just guessed and went. Great throw by Matt Adams, who's not known for his arm. I mean, he can hit. He plays a good first base, but probably a little bit of a below average arm, but a great throw right here by Matt. Watch him meet the ball, get rid of it quick, and a perfect throw right on the money to Trey Turner. Nicely done by everybody there.
A tapper by the mound. Here comes Defoe. He's got to hurry. And he throws out Hosmer. 2 down. Jose Perella is 0 for 3. Then he's 0 for 1 against Sammy with a walk and a strikeout. Top of the order coming up. Very important to keep this 3-1. Way outside. 2-1 changeup. Lefty on deck in Cordero, who does have pop. Strike call. 3-2. Sean Kelly. Probably for Villanueva, who's a couple of hitters away, and hopefully that's in the 9th. And a drive to right. Bryce reading it. Bullpen pretty solid. 2 1/3 scoreless from Collins, Gott, and now Solis. Volkswagen dealers, who bring you the Smile at Spring sales event. By American Standard Heating and Air. Find your local independent American Standard Heating and Air dealer at MidAtlanticComfort.com. And by Night Point Systems. They offer the technology you need when you need it. All right, Curly W on the move here, hopefully. Last 2 innings. Stammen still in there, takes on Trey Turner, who's 0 for 2 against him. Craig got Trey last night on a line drive to center. And this pop-up will be over near the barrier and unreachable for anybody.
Well, this right here might be the biggest out of the game for the Padres. Trey Turner leading it off, down by 2, bottom of the 8th. It's getting late, and the big boys are coming at you. And Brad Hand has been great in the month of May.
Yeah, total on the season 14 saves out of 16 opportunities. I mean, they're thinking about him for Soto or Harper and maybe a 4 to 5 out save.
Depends how rested he is.
Yeah. Nats haven't seen him in this series, having won the first 2. Yeah, Sunday at Pittsburgh, his last time out, when he pitched an inning, walked a couple of guys, didn't give up anything else. Turner taking on the 0-2, which was well outside. And during the inning, we were discussing the fact that Bryce Harper's error has rightfully been changed to a 2-base hit for Villanueva. So all those San Diego runs in that inning earned. And Trey Turner couldn't pull the trigger, and he's called out on strikes. Greg Stammen getting the front edge of the plate out there.
Nissan, yeah, excuse me, show it to you again. Tried to run it back. Did it come back? Trey said no. Pretty close. Gary Cederstrom said yes. Looked like it was off. I think you're right about the Brad Hand deal. Here he comes.
Yeah, double switch coming as well. Corey Spangenberg is already making some throws on the infield, and we've got some wheels turning here with 1 out, 8th inning. Lefties ahead. Nats down 2.
Year-old Juan Soto, well, he showed more of that last night, drawing a walk in the bottom of the 9th inning when one swing could have won the game. And after the game, I asked Soto about that, if it was hard to be so patient in that situation, especially when he had a 3-0 green light. And he offered, again, a very mature response, saying he knows the strike zone and also knows the umpires are better at the major league level than they are in the minors, meaning balls will usually correctly be called balls up here, guys. So Juan Soto, knowing the zone, knowing the umpires are good, and knowing that he could be patient, he might try and do the same here against Brad Hand.
Well, lefty-lefty matchup. Brad Hand converted to a reliever 2 years ago. His best record as a starter for the Marlins was 4-7. Padres turned him into a reliever, and he's been great. 82 games 2 years ago, 72 last year with 21 saves, and as mentioned, 14 of 16 so far.
Well, he had one of those 3-inning saves under his belt, you know, when you're way ahead and they give you a save for going 3. But he's only had one 5-out save in his career. That was in 2016.
The Nats' next 3 batters, well, at least 3 of the next 4 lefties with Rendon after Harper. So he will face some right-handed hitters here, and look at this thing.
That's a nasty slider. My goodness. Throws that 54% of the time. He should throw it 100% of the time.
That wasn't a right turn. That was a U-turn. There's a 1-1.
Wiffle ball.
Time given just as he was about to push off. Nats down 3-1, looking for a base runner in front of Harper here. Holds on too long with the fastball. 2-1. Corey Spangenberg is at second base batting 9th on the double switch, so their pitcher is 3rd in the order. Soto up the middle. Hand got a piece of it. Bare hand. Oh, and he almost threw it down the right field line. Big time stretch by Hosmer. It's a second out.
Yeah, stayed with it nice, and then right here Hosmer saves what would have been a lot of extra bases because the right fielder Travis Jankowski wasn't backing that up.
So now Harper against Hand. Career matchup. Bryce 4 for 18 with a homer. 6 RBIs against him. Galvis the only infielder left side. Freddie in the baseline between 2nd and 3rd. Now on strike 1. He angles his way back toward up the middle about 30 or 40 feet. Another trend we've seen in the last year or two where shifts start one way and then they sort of morph into a different shift based on the count. Bryce trying to keep that front foot in on the big breaking ball.
There's got to be one of the highest spin rates on a slider in all of baseball. That's just filth. He's worked 10 2/3 in the month of May, giving up 1 run on 4 hits, 6 walks, and 16 strikeouts. He's converted all 8 save opportunities in this month.
I talked about this with a couple of scouts who were at the yard last homestand, and they're saying sometimes there's confusion among scouts because guys are throwing sliders that look like curveballs 10 years ago. You know, they give them different names, but some of these guys have such depth to their sliders now. They just look like an old-time curveball, but they're about 10 miles an hour harder. 1-2.
Yeah, the average spin rate on a slider is 2180. Brad Hand's is over 2600.
Wow. Two to Harper. And Bryce not biting that time.
I mean, it has to, you have to make it start behind you if you're a left-hander. Because if it starts at you, it's sweeping across as a ball. It really has to start on the outside almost of the left-handed batter's box for it to be a strike. And that's got to be tough to stay in there on.
What does he have on 3-2 here? Big curve, and he strikes out Bryce Harper. Brad Hand, pretty ordinary as a starter. Pretty amazing now as a reliever closer.
Fly ball to right. Kind of tailing away from Bryce Harper. Fence approaching in the sun. He reaches up at the last second. Had a chance for it, but there was a lot going on that play. We've seen him make it before, but that's not an easy play by any means. And just like we promised, we'd show you a big play later in the game.
Yeah, ruled an error, then changed to a double. And that is the difference in the game right now. Sammy Solis still on the mound. 13 pitches, 8 strikes to get to a scoreless 8th. And he'll take on Franchi Cordero, who's 0 for 1 against him with a ground ball out. Good looking curveball. Only game in progress in the big leagues right now. Everything's starting in the next half hour or so. A lot of night games on the docket. And that one ended up low and away. No chance to reach it. 0-2. Lefty-lefty matchup, no shift here. Field a bit to the left. And that's a 2-hopper for Wilmer Difo. Had to wait for Adams to get to the bag.
Now we've been talking about the bullpen coming in and keeping the deficit right where it's at. So far, so good. Trevor Gott did a real nice job coming in. Sammy so far is doing a nice job, and I think Sean Kelly going to be coming in right now.
Right-handed batter, then a switch hitter, and Freddie Galvis hasn't been as good left-handed this year. Well done, Sammy. Here comes Sean. comfortable in the shade right now. Tommy Malone, the lefty. No better time to act than today from PNC. Make today the day. So yesterday at Buffalo, 8 innings and a loss. That is a complete game for a starter. 9 strikeouts, didn't walk anybody. Couple of home runs given up by Tommy, and those are his minor league career numbers. Best known around here for hitting a ball into the right field bullpen in his first major league at bat. So Sean Kelly against Christian Villanueva as they match up for the first time. This guy's hit 12 homers. When he doubled back in the 6th on that ball off of Harper's glove, it was the first time he'd had a hit against the Nats this year. Bryce rushing in, ball in the air forever. 2 outs.
Sean Kelly with a new look. Shaved his head, trimmed the beard. I think it looks good.
He looks quicker to me.
I like it.
So Freddie Galvis has mentioned this year right-handed 271, lefty 210. He went 1 for 2 left-handed today. And an 0 for 1 against Collins from the right side. And Sean Kelly gets the strike call.
Doesn't like that ball. He figured it just had 1 strike in it, not 2. He wants another one.
I heard of a pitcher one time throwing a ball out. He told the umpire it's not round enough. And there are imperfections in some of the baseballs, and some veteran guys who've been gripping one their whole life, they can tell.
You don't see pitchers throwing balls out as much as they used to, though.
Fastball, Galvis late, 1-2.
I asked him about it on the plane today. I bet you there was a dent in it. Lopsided or something.
Fastball didn't miss by much.
Got pretty good velocity today. Ball coming out nice for Sean Kelly. 94, everything else in, and then he tries to paint away. Thought he had it. Gary Cederstrom called the same pitch on the other side to Trey Turner.
Three and 2.
Four better than 5. Look at that's called shaving some corners.
And that ball hit well, heading for the left field corner. Hits fair, rattles around down there. Soto trying to dig it out, and Galvis stops at second with a 2-out double. That is a huge run. The Nats do not want to score. They want to be able to tie the game once they get 1 man aboard. So Freddie Galvis at 2 for 4 day. He was 0 for 8 in the series before doubling back in the 5th.
Nice piece of hitting by the Padres shortstop. Went down and got it.
Yeah, Freddie's on the upswing. He's hitting over 320 now his last 10 games after a pretty slow start. Left-handed hitting catcher Rafi Lopez will be walked, and they'll go righty-righty Kelly and Margot.
Trey Turner's talking to him at second. He's saying, hey, that pitch you took, it was right on the black, is the same one I got called on me. And you got to hit one more time than I did, and I had to go back. I doubt that's what they're talking about. The shortstop club. 2 pretty good shortstops, in my opinion. We were big Freddie Galvis fans when he was with the Phillies.
Yeah.
Guy's a good ball player.
Margot against Kelly, 0 for 2 career with a grounder and a strikeout. That's what the inning to end here. They don't have anybody warmed up because they've used their 2 lefties other than Doolittle. And there's a left-handed batter, Spangenberg, on deck. So this is your Hold'em matchup right here. And Sean got a front door fastball for a strike. And then the foul.
Well, when Sean Kelly's right, the high fastball is his out pitch for strike 3. Remember in 2016, that's what he featured with 2 strikes, and we'd see a lot like Sean Doolittle, a lot of hitters chasing it up. He's got a high spin rate on his 4-seamer.
Fastball rides high, ball 1.
He's still
Sean Kelly is halfway to the baseline. Gary Cedarstrom stood up and then didn't move a muscle. 2-2.
Yeah, that was a big time show up right there. Let's see where it was in the box. That's 2 that haven't gone his way, and he throws his hands in the air, walks halfway to the first baseline, has to regroup now.
Did he go? He did. And we're going to the bottom of the 9th. 3 1/3 scoreless by the bullpen. Rendon 4th, Adams 5th, Taylor 6th in the order. They're coming right up. He has 8 career hits against Brad Hand. So the Nats need a man on. Looks like Reynolds will bat for Adams right behind him. And then Michael A. So Brad Hand's going to have to face some right-handed bats here.
Bloop and a bomb. That's what Dave Martinez is looking for. Brad's a little more hittable if you're right-handed, but those hard sliders he threw Juan Soto and Bryce Harper were just dirty.
So Rendon, those 8 hits, 3 walks, 4 RBIs attached to the hits. Career against the 28-year-old lefty. Up in the zone, counts even, 1-1. And then he brings the curveball in.
From the first base dugout.
Seemed like it. Anthony able to lay off that one diving. Counts even. 31,076 paid for game 3 of the series. And looking for something like the 9th inning last night. Take at least 2 runs here, though. Rendon, a long ball to left center. One hopping the wall. Then the ball mishandled a bit, but Anthony was downshifting to second. So the Nats will have the tying run coming up with Reynolds after Anthony Rendon's 7th double.
Beautiful swing by Anthony Rendon. Game on. Same seats. All the cliches. Here we go. Fastball up. Short compact swing. You're wondering if it would ride long enough to get out of here. Short hops the wall. So a leadoff double here in the 9th for the Nats, down by 2. And in steps the slugger, Mark Reynolds.
Reynolds 4 for 10 career with a homer, 3 RBIs. Look at what he's done. He's only been around for a week and a half. So good career numbers against Brad Hand.
Trust me, he's thinking one thing.
Move the runner and me.
No, he's not moving the runner.
Well, that's why I said and me. Everybody around the bases, huh?
He's trying to turn and burn here.
Michael A. next.
Anthony could walk into third if he wants to. Down by 2, probably not the smartest thing, but there's nobody near him.
Ooh, and that curveball stayed outside. 2-0. Mark, of course, a lot of time in the National League West. It's funny, he spent all those years with the D-backs and short time with the Rockies, and he gets called up, and the Nats are playing teams from the West like crazy as soon as he gets back to the big leagues. Guys he knows pretty well. .2-0 curveball. Got the inside edge.
I think Reynolds liked the call. He definitely wasn't going to offer at a 2-0 curve. Slider, actually. Hard curve, somewhere in between the two.
Yeah. And he doubles up, more than doubles up on the breaking ball. The count's 2-2. Lopez has the fluorescent fingernails there so the pitchers can see the signals.
He bounce the slider, or does he go fastball up?
Yeah, great question. That's a breaking ball. It's a base hit. Rendon had to make sure Galvis couldn't catch it. Then he goes to third, and now the winning run will be in the batter's box.
Mark Reynolds is locked in, folks. Same seats. Line is moving. Game on. How about last night? Michael A. Taylor was your walk-off hero. 3-2 slider right down the middle. Good effort by Jankowski, but Juan Soto scores. Little thank you to somebody, maybe the big man upstairs, as he just stood towards center field, and here he is again. Weird how the game finds you.
Listen to these numbers. Michael A. Taylor against Brad Hand, career 5 for 7. Fastball, outside edge.
Paint, that's his strike. You don't want that.
And the curveball is in there. 0-2. Nats had 7 pinch hits all season, and they have 2 today from Stevenson and Reynolds, setting up this situation. Swing and a miss on a fastball up at 96. 1 out. Second strikeout for Hand, and now it's Spencer Kieboom. Pitcher spot next. Sean Doolittle in case it's tied or the Nats. Well, of course they win it. He doesn't have to do a thing, but if they tied this thing up, it's him for the 10th. Kieboom left side. He's going to have to hustle to prevent the double play, and the Padres turn it 5-4-3 to win the game. Nats had 2 on, nobody out, and in exactly 3 hours, San Diego salvages game 3 of the series. Nats will strand 6 runners on the day. Tyson Ross was good. Eric Fetty was good for the Nats. Couple of swings, the difference. And so the Padres beat the Nationals 3-1. Nats still take 2 out of 3. It's on now to Miami, Baltimore, and Atlanta. Coverage begins 6:30 Friday night against the Marlins. This has been a presentation of Matson. Johnny and Ray straight ahead from the ballpark. So long for just a while.